And that's why I think that the threat of not being able to question the opinions of ourselves and of others is existential. Alright, so last week I put out a video about human nature and whether or not we are inherently selfish or inherently altruistic. And in the description box I wrote, just my 2 cents. And I did that to indicate that what I was saying in this video was just my opinion on the matter. But what do I mean when I say that's just my opinion? Well, when I say that, I'm acknowledging that I don't know for sure what the answer is. But given the data on the subject and taking into account my own personal experiences, I've come to this particular conclusion. As of yet, there is no definitive answer to this question, but this is what I believe the answer is. And that's what I mean when I use the phrase, that's just my opinion. And the reason I felt the need to clarify this is because there's another implied meaning when someone uses this phrase. Over the last couple of years, it's become increasingly more popular to use this phrase as a defense of our ideologies. Essentially, nowadays, when people say, that's just my opinion, what they're implying is that you don't have the right to challenge what they're saying. Opinions have come under this protected status, and the notion that opinions can never be wrong has become more prominent. And if an opinion can never be wrong, then framing whatever statement you're making as an opinion would inherently protect it from any sort of scrutiny. But then that begs the question, is it really true that an opinion can never be wrong? Well, the very definition of the word would seem to suggest otherwise. An opinion, by definition, is a view or judgment formed about something not necessarily based on fact or knowledge. And if a conclusion is reached without factual evidence or generally accepted knowledge to support it, then there is a high probability that that conclusion is wrong, which means that by definition, an opinion, which again, isn't always based on fact or knowledge, can be wrong. But don't just take my word for it. This article from Psychology Today discusses the notion that all of us are entitled to our opinions, but also asserts that this right doesn't automatically bestow validity to them. First, the article corroborates the definition of an opinion as a personal expression of a person's feelings or thoughts that may or may not be based in data, and then goes on to reiterate the distinction between an opinion and a fact. Whether an opinion is valuable depends on how that conclusion was reached. Is the opinion based in data or not? Many of our opinions are based on emotions, personal history, and values, all of which can be completely unsupported by meaningful evidence. This is precisely why opinions by experts are more valued in court testimony and evaluative reporting, because they are more likely to provide opinions based on facts and knowledge. The article concludes that, yes, we are all entitled to our opinions, but that doesn't make them infallible or even valuable in any meaningful way. So ultimately, the idea that opinions can never be wrong doesn't seem to hold up under scrutiny, given that the information used to form those opinions could be, and often is, based on falsehoods that aren't backed up by any data or evidence. Everybody has the right to think anything they want about anything they choose and call it their opinion, no matter how absurd or unfounded their claims are. And I just think that it is incredibly dangerous to tell people that those opinions, regardless of their merit, can never be wrong. And so when I say that my last video regarding the true nature of humanity was all just my opinion, I'm not trying to hide behind the protected status that opinions hold and claim that since it's just my opinion, it can't be wrong. I'm not telling people that they have no right to scrutinize or challenge my perspectives and beliefs. I'm quite literally just saying that based on the combination of professional research and my own personal experiences, this is the conclusion that I've come to. But seeing as there is no definitive answer to the question of human nature, this is, in fact, just my opinion on the matter. And so I just wanted to clear that up in case anyone was thinking that I didn't want to have my perspectives challenged by saying this is just my opinion. That isn't the case. In fact, I genuinely believe that the only way we'll ever be able to discern the truth, whatever that may be, is if we continue to diligently scrutinize our opinions in good faith. Whatever holds up to the scrutiny will be kept and eventually certified as fact, and anything that doesn't hold up will be left behind. And that's why I think that the threat of not being able to question the opinions of ourselves and of others is existential. Because if we can't, then that's it. Perception is reality, and we have no right to question the perceptions of other people, no matter how egregiously they deviate from reality, since those perceptions were founded upon faulty opinions, and opinions can never be wrong. But that's a completely separate topic, and I don't want to get carried away. What I will say is that I think I do understand this fierce desire to protect our opinions, especially in these times. The advent of the internet and social media has connected us to literally billions of other people, all with varying opinions that directly contradict our own worldviews. Worldviews that we've held onto our entire lives and that have gotten us through thick and thin. And to have to give up on those beliefs for whatever reason is extremely difficult and extremely daunting. And it's completely understandable that we would do anything in our power to hold on to them. And I don't fault people for doing this. And I should also mention that I don't absolve myself from falling into this trap as well. There are beliefs that I hold that I'm not sure would stand up to the scrutiny. And I keep them to myself because I don't want them challenged just yet. Maybe one day I'll have the courage to speak publicly about them, but that'll only happen if and when I develop the capacity and the strength to admit that I'm wrong, if I am. But I say that just to show that I also have this desire to keep opinions sacred and untouchable. But despite that desire, I don't think they should be. I think they should be challenged. I think they need to be challenged. And even though I'm not 100% capable of living up to this conviction just yet, I don't think that makes the conviction itself wrong. It just means that I have a lot of work to do. But anyway, I think that's going to be it for this one. If you made it this far, thank you so much for indulging me. I hope it made sense, but as always, if it didn't, please feel free to let me know why so that I can try to address any misconceptions. But in any case, I really appreciate you watching. And with that said, I wish you all the very best going forward. Take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one.